welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. So I'm Nene, and today I have Reese with me, and we are going to be doing a recap of Prison Brides. So we are on season 1, episode 7. Okay, so that's the one that we're doing today. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and jump right in, and we're going to start with Emma. All right, so Emma, we we see her. She's packing up. Um, she's actually about to come to the US. She lets us know that Olivia and KJ are getting married and she'll be officiating their wedding. And then Gabby and Jamal. Jamal are getting married and she's going to be just a member of, she's going to be the witness there. And so we see her, she FaceTimes with Gabby and Gabby says something about the date and she realizes, uh-oh, she thought that Olivia was getting married on the 10th and Gabby was getting married on the 11th, but it turns out both ladies are getting married on the 11th. So they kind of talk things out and they realize it would be easier for, why did I just draw a blank on her name? Oh, it'll be easier for Olivia to find another officiant than it would be for Gabby to find a new witness because the witness also has to get approved to like be on the list to get in and stuff like that. Whereas I guess an officiant, she could just find an officiant and that person would be able to go into the prison without having to go through all the rigmarole that a witness would have to go through. So she decides that she's gonna go to Gabby's wedding, and they kind of explain how their friendship started. Let me say this when I say they. I mean Emma and Gabby. So it turns out there's a Facebook group for the prison spouses, prison wives, and that's how they met each other. They've never met in person, but they created this friendship. All right. And it's the same way with Olivia, but Olivia and Emma have met in person before. I hope I wasn't too confusing right there. I hope not. All righty. And so we see then it pans back to Emma and we see she's getting ready for Gabby's her bachelorette party that night, and she's actually running a little bit late. But that's what we kind of saw there. We didn't actually see her with her man or interacting with her man this week. It was mostly just about her trying to um, finagle these two weddings while she's in the U.S. Okay, so any thoughts on Emma this week?
Um, Not too much. I think like she messed up pretty bad because she had those dates wrong, and like she said when she was making the decision, she like no matter what, somebody's gonna be mad. I mean, that's understandable. Like if you're supposed to officiate my wedding, and now I got to get a random person who I have no clue who they are, and you know what I mean. So like I feel like she fumbled the ball on that one, but I think from watching the show, she picked the right person because old girl seems a bit stronger. Like the other one is kind of emotional. Not to say she's not strong, but she's more emotional. And obviously, she would have had to reschedule her wedding. So, I mean, she made the right decision, but it just is to me, it's still messed up because as the officiant, she was getting paid. I don't know if she's getting paid to be the witness too, but I know for sure like she charges at least to be the officiant. So I don't know if she lost money in that too, but are you gonna kind of talk about more of what she did when you talk about
Mm-hmm.
okay, okay. So I won't go too far into that, but as far as what you said, like yeah, I mean it wasn't really too much to it other than her messing up by putting them by not having one for the 10th, one for the 11th, and they both were for the 11th, and it's like yeah, you should get that under control because I don't think she's doing that many weddings where you overbooking and you know
Right.
that's all I had on that.
Okay. All right. So the next couple was Aaron and Michael. Okay. So their scenes like open with they are actually heading off to dinner together. Um, so Aaron mentions that both of them have gotten better jobs. So, things are getting a little bit better for them financially. So we see them at the dinner. And so Michael's kind of starts opening up to her about feeling judged, by people because of his past, or being talked down to. He feels like because of his past by people, and he's just being having a moment of vulnerability. And so I end up feeling bad for him in that moment because she tells him, "But you do look like a bad guy." You know, like his appearance is kind of makes him look a certain way because he said when he went to her job, people were looking at him like he was going to steal. And and it wasn't, and she wasn't like, "Oh, babe, ignore that," or la la la. No, it was like, "But you do look like this, but you are like, not that you are like this, but you do look like this." I just felt like maybe she could have been a little softer with her approach, but maybe that's just me. Okay. And so, he was telling her how he feels judged. And so then, we saw the other couples. Then they go back to Aaron and Michael. So we see Aaron is at their home and she's on the phone. I didn't catch who it was that she was talking to, but clearly it was like a friend or a family member. And so she tells them that she found meth and needles in Michael's bag. Guess maybe his work bag, his gym bag. I'm not sure which one. And she mentions that he has lost weight recently, and she thinks that that is attributed to the drug use, as well as she said his temperament has been kind of up and down or whatever you want to call it. And she also believes that that is part of the drug use. So the lady that she was talking to on the phone told her probably her best bet is to, pack up some of her things and go stay somewhere else and not stay in the house right now. Which I totally understand. Especially if she's not into drugs, she don't want to be in that house like that. She really don't want to confront him because she don't, maybe he's been out wherever he is right now. He might be doing drugs. I don't know, but I guess she wants to talk to him when he's more sober. But she did mention that even if she talks to him while he's sober, she may not get a good response from him. Okay, and so when their scenes ended, we saw her driving off in her car. I don't know where she was going, but I guess. All right, so your thoughts on Michael and Aaron this week?
That caught me off guard. Granted, I saw the preview for it, but just seeing it, and that it's real, like it's kind of crazy because when you look at his scenes, he don't look high to me.
Hmm.
So I'm like,
Yeah, that's very
it's,
true. The only thing was when they went to dinner, I did notice. I was like, he looks a little thinner, but
mhm,
my thought process wasn't drugs,
yeah,
especially meth.
yeah, because he
Not to
don't
say
look like he would do meth.
good drugs are, but yeah.
Yeah, he don't look like a meth person. Like, I guess but I guess when you're, because I don't know. I guess it depends on how long he's been back on it and the amount he uses. Because most of them pick their face because of like believing that there's stuff there or something. And you look at like the faces of meth and you see how they change. So maybe eventually he will look like that. But it caught me off guard because I mean he seemed like he was real serious. And I'm wondering, like, maybe if she got her divorce, or maybe if maybe their finances is better, maybe he wouldn't turn back to that. But maybe the stress of him not being able to be like, well, we can't even plan our wedding because you're not divorced. Maybe that's taking a word. Not to say that what he's doing is okay, because it's not. Because that'll end him back up. He'll end up back in jail.
Right.
Like he need to chill with that. But that just was sad and shocking for me. Like you say, we've been saying every time we do this that there's no drama, but it's like, dang, come on now, like why I gotta be on the American side? Like all the other prisoners. Well, you know what? Is he don't know when it's out, so we don't know how the rest. No, two of them are out, so I don't know. It's just disappointing because it's like he seemed like he had his stuff together, and I think in the beginning I said they were one of my favorite couples, but well, I take that back.
Yeah.
So
All
she
right.
left her son for him, like. You made
Yeah.
this woman uproot.
Look, if she came all the way from Australia, I think that's furthest away that any of the young ladies but I don't know. Maybe she comes around this way. I guess if you come around the world from the in the other direction. Maybe it's not that far. I don't know.
It's
I don't
far
know.
either way though. Like overseas is overseas. Like it's still far, and her son is still overseas with the dad, and
Hmm.
you can't. And you know they said they plan on bringing him eventually, but if you're doing drugs, he can never come. Cause if I was a dad over there, I'd be like, no, yeah, I was sending my son over there with no drug addict.
Mm.
Why? So all his stuff can get pawned. You know, that's the first thing I would think. Oh, and then I take it back. There's three of them that's free, but yeah, I'm disappointed. That was saddening because I actually liked them. But I
Hmm.
did say he was really moody. Remember I said that in
You
the
did say that.
I
You
said
did
like
say.
it's like his mood went from 0 to 100, and it's like if he's been doing drugs, it kind of makes sense on that part. He is moody. Oh, and then what you were saying about when he went to the job, she was saying like he walked like a thug or something.
Yes, he. She did say that.
So I don't know. They don't really show him walking, so I can't. I don't know. I can't judge it, but I mean, she see it. Maybe when he high, he walk like a thug.
I don't know. But
Mhm.
okay. So the next couple we saw is Joseph, Joseph and Savannah. Okay. So the scenes open up with Joseph. He's playing basketball and he's discussing with his friend his relationship with Savannah. Um, you know, and how she seems to not necessarily be the happiest with the amount of attention she's getting from him. And then they cut into Savea's scenes where she is basically saying that she does, she's not happy with the level of attention that he's getting, and she was getting more attention when he was in prison, but she thinks that's because he had a lot of time on his hands. Whereas now, he's out, he's working, he's trying to do his own thing. And so then we find out Joseph has gotten his own place. And so we see them on FaceTime with each other, and Savea asks him to give her a tour of his place. To me, that this is just me. It seemed like Savea wasn't in the best of moods when they first got on the phone. And the whole vibe and energy changed altogether once he started doing the tour. He showed her the kitchen. There was some dishes and things around. She's like, "Well, don't you think you need to tidy up?" And then he was showing her, around the apartment, and she was just like, "Yeah, it's a bit junky. Maybe you should be cleaning up today. Like every day, just clean up a room and stuff." I'm like, "Celia, look, this man, he's doing the best that he can." Like when he was talking to his friend, he kind of had me a little bit worried because he was like, "I think it'll take about a year before I'm at where I'm at." I'm like, "Uh oh, does that mean he gonna stay in that basement for a year?" But he actually didn't. He actually went and he got his own place and stuff like that. I mean, she needs to give him time because I think he said this is like his first grown up place, I believe is what he said, or the first time in a long time he's definitely lived by himself. And so I just hated the way she kind of reacted to everything. I get it that it was junky, but give him time. And then she had told him, "Oh, you told me when you were in prison that you were a tidy person. So you've been telling some lies." I was like, "Girl, what is wrong with you right now? Just let him get ready." Now, in a few months, if you see he's still doing not cleaning up his place and stuff, okay. I get you having this conversation, but he just moved in. And so that spoils like his mode. He's not necessarily happy, but he doesn't show a lot to her. He does say it to us that he wasn't happy about some of the things that she was saying. So, what are your thoughts on Savea and Joseph this week?
Um, I kind of take like some of her the way she talk is like that German accent and stuff. They kind of talk a little bit harsh,
Yeah, where
like
it seems like they're a bit rougher. Yeah, when they're
yeah,
talking.
and even like if you hear them talking in German, like it's the
Yeah, it
accent is
seems
like
like
kind of
they're
hard.
mad at each other to me when you listen to two German people talking.
Yeah, I think I mean, she's probably annoyed with him because she expected a certain standard, but your standards are very high for somebody who's been in prison for so long and just got out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And from what I remember seeing, the mess wasn't like extreme. It was a little, like he didn't clean up before he did the call, but he probably also didn't know she was gonna ask to look. Common sense would say she's gonna want to see the place, but unless she's already seen it, he didn't expect that. But I agree with you. Like, give him a little time. Because I feel like she was already annoyed with him wanting to do the art thing. So you already like kind of turned your nose up and you like, well, that ain't gonna get you no job, that ain't gonna pay the bills. And so you mad at him for that and already saying he catfishing you. Now she's saying, "Oh, you said you were clean, but now I realize you're not. You tricking me again." But she also got to think about the fact that I mean, obviously he kept his job and he's still talking about doing the art thing. So that was just a spontaneous thought, maybe, because he's still working and still trying to do the art at the same time. But with the cleaning thing, I look at it kind of like when I was in basic training, like you couldn't have stuff out of order. And I'm assuming in prison it's the same way. Like they probably do inspections or they check stuff and you got to keep your stuff in order. So yeah, of course, for the last 10 years or 8 years, whatever the time he was in jail, he was neat, tidy because he had to be. And now for the first time, ain't nobody bugging him. So he probably just like, I'll do it later. Hopefully it don't stay like that, but give him some time to adjust.
Hmm.
But she's real kind of hard on him. And that's probably going to push him away because he seems a little bit laid back.
Yeah.
So if she wants especially being that like he wants a wife and he wants to get married, she don't. He's gonna have to move to Germany because she's not coming there, which is understandable. It's a lot of her way only,
Hmm.
and if you're gonna be that way, then maybe in some other things loosen up because if nothing else, you're gonna push him away, then you got to start over after you didn't invested money and time into this dude.
Yeah. Now she did make a statement that maybe he's not ready for a relationship, but maybe it's really her. She's not ready for that relationship. Maybe.
I agree.
Yeah. So I don't know. All right. So that the next couple was Gabby and Jamal. All right, so we see that Gabby, she's headed to the U.S. to get married. After she lands, she's at the hotel talking to Jamal on the phone, and she gets emotional about the fact that her mom can't be there for her when she gets married. Um, so she is upset about that. So while she's in the U.S., apparently Jamal did not have a relationship with his dad. So now his dad is in the picture, and his dad tells him that he wants to be a part of the wedding process. And so apparently, Gabby had called Jamal's dad. Jamal's dad informs her he's not coming to the wedding, said he has a business to run, and said some other things. He yelled at Gabby. That's what she says, and that he hung the phone up on her. So she's crying when Jamal calls her, and she tells Jamal, what happened with his dad. Jamal, he's trying to calm her down some, but she's emotional. She's very emotional since she has pretty much came to the U.S. She's been emotional about some things. I guess I understand that, where her emotions are coming from. Alrighty. And so we then see Gabby goes and gets a tattoo of Jamal's name on her chest. Alrighty. I'm not going to say anything. She wants to get her husband's name tatted on her. That's her. For me, it was the placement of where it was. I was freaking out. I was like, that it's like right here on her chest. I was like, oh my God. It just scares me. The thought of going right there. But hey, that's the place that she wanted it at. So we also see her that she's meeting Gabby at a bar and they're having a little bachelorette party. It's going to be just the two of them. Gabby, not Gabby, Emma is meeting her. And so Emma kind of has a moment of reflection of the night before she got married. She was alone. So she says she doesn't want Gabby to be alone. So she definitely wants to show up for her, even if it's just the two of them. So they go to this bar, they have fun, they're drinking, they're riding the mechanical bull, just having a good time. And so Emma decides that she wants to FaceTime Olivia. And it's like when Emma explained it, I kind of understood it, but I had a feeling Olivia was going to feel the way that she felt. So she said that, she just wanted Olivia to know that she was on her mind and she's thinking about her and stuff. So she does decides to FaceTime her from the bar. So now Olivia sees, and not only is her friend not coming to officiate after she said she was going to, she now is watching her friend have fun with somebody else at their bachelor party. So then Olivia ended up feeling some type of way, which I can understand that. It's kind of like, wow, you're not here with me, but you gonna call me while you're out with somebody else. But the thing about it was Emma did not have mean intentions by it. I wish Olivia could have seen um, what was Emma's thought process when she did it. But I do get the way that Olivia felt too. All right. And yeah, so that was basically their scenes. Your thoughts on Gabby, Jamal, and Emma this week?
Um, so I'm disappointed in his dad. I don't know the real reason, but it seemed like the job thing was a cop out.
Yeah.
You got a business to run, regardless if he was getting married or if he wasn't. So it's like to say that you're coming. Now, if he had said something came up with work,
Mm-hmm.
more understandable. But I got a business to run. You got that business to run every day. What if you catch a cold and can't go to work? You still got a business to run. So then you got to find somebody that can step in for you or whatever. So I just felt like his reasoning. So I understood how disappointed she was. 'Cause her family couldn't be there. And she was like, I just wanted somebody here for him, so he's not alone. Even though I like how he was like, you're my family. So it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he is really sweet. And I understand kind of like why she goes so hard for him again with her family. Because the
Mm-hmm.
things he say are very, they're sweet. Like he does say really nice
He
things.
is. He's really good at that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I don't know how he's gonna be like on the outside or, how it's gonna be, later down the road, but he seems like a really sweet person. And then, like you said, that placement for a first tattoo, that's crazy. I'm assuming that's her first tattoo because the way she was acting, but like up and down the chest, like it's just a sensitive area. So I like to even think that it wouldn't hurt is crazy. Um, and then what you said about the was it Emma and no, not Emma. Yeah, Emma is the one that
Olivia.
officiated.
Emma is the one that was caught between the two girls, and then
Okay,
Olivia is the
so
other one.
Emma, I'm with you on the fact that you say you understood why she did it. She was calling to say like, "Hey, I'm thinking of you." So what she could have done is maybe
Waited till they
um,
left the bar, maybe.
waited till they left the bar, or maybe even called her before the bar. Um, I don't know something because it's like once she got drunk, you can't control like your slurring, your people yelling in the background like because remember at one point they were like come take a shot. She like they said take a shot. I'm coming to take a shot. Like you can't control what's going on in your background at a bar.
Right.
And even what's the other girl name? Not Olivia, but the one who was at the one that was riding the bull, the one who we talking about,
Gabby.
Gabby. So Gabby, she even tried to come in and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I do feel bad, but when you sound drunk, it kind of I think it makes it a little bit
Yeah.
harder to take it serious. But I really do think she felt bad too. It was
Yeah.
like I can't get another witness, but it is like they say easier to find another officiator because they don't have to be on the books like you said. So on the visits. So and it's not her fault either. It was Emma's fault for like booking it wrong or getting the dates wrong or whatever. So um but it's just I see where Olivia was coming from, where she was like, you could have just not called me. Because I mean, it's true. Because then it made her feel like I see how people don't have your best interests in mind, which I don't think that's true. But maybe the fact of making her feel jealous was not right. So,
Right.
but they was having a time of their life because I don't know who them people
They
was.
did.
And
They
they
had
remember,
fun. The two of them, they had some fun.
yeah, and then they were like, "Should we go ask her ride the motorcycles?" I was like, "No, no,
Yeah.
no." That's how you end up on Nancy Grace.
Yeah, and that's inappropriate for prison wives. Y'all know people already have their own speculations about,
Yeah,
you know, that the
yeah,
prison wives are not waiting for their husbands. And then,
yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's not a good look there.
Yeah, y'all don't even know these dudes. Like, stop, and y'all are intoxicated. Stop, stop. Just
Mhm.
hang out in the bar and then catch your Ubers home or whatever y'all doing.
You
But
good.
yeah, they was having a time. Was even them strangers like, come take a shot. She like, well, they said it's time to take a shot. I'm going to take a shot. It's like, You
the
making
girl.
it worse.
Yeah,
Because then when you look at our girl, it kind of reminds you of how she was. How Emma was like sitting by herself in her room.
yeah, because her friend didn't show up for her.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's all I had on that.
yeah. So all right, so I'm gonna. There's just two more couples left. Um, I was going in order that we saw them on the TV screen, but I'm gonna jump to Olivia and KJ. They didn't have very much, and the majority of Olivia's scenes were intermingled with this whole mishap between the two girls. So Olivia is in the U.S. because she is about to get married to her fiance KJ. And so we see that she's arrived. She has gotten this white sweatshirt and she wants to put like KJ's last name on it. She wants to kind of embezzle it up. And KJ's like, no, just leave it white. And she really wants to embezzle this sweatshirt. And, so that was a cute scene there. And so basically that was pretty much their scenes. Her and KJ had a conversation about it, and KJ was kind of like, trying to, I guess, kind of cheer her spirits up a little bit. He's like, you know, Emma has always been there for you, or whatever. She's been a good friend. She's tried to make things happen. So, and I did like that. So it's like helping her to, your feelings are hurt, but this is your friend, and she's always been able to make things happen for you in the past. Kind of like, just, I don't remember that. So, do you have any thoughts on KJ and Olivia this week?
No, I thought she should have went with the because that was what she did, right? That little naming on it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she should have went with it. Like, but if he said no, I guess don't. And then I was trying to figure out what the 23 was. Is it
I think
2023?
because it was 2023.
That's what I thought. Okay, it was 2023 when she was doing it. I think she should have went with it. It was cute. Maybe if he could have seen it, because I mean that's gonna be her name too, and then she still could keep that as a memory. But maybe she can jewel it up after the wedding. Like I got married in it, and then put the stuff on it, and then show him later. But I agree with what you said about KJ. Like he was trying to help her feel better, and I give him respect for that too, because he could have been like, yeah, I don't blame you for being mad at her, but he didn't. So I got mad respect for him for that. But that was all I got.
Okay. All right. So then the last couple was Jessica and Craig. Their scenes was very small, but I felt like it was impactful. Okay. So we see them, they're sitting down and they're going over their budget. So Jessica lets them know like how much their bills are each month and then for the whole year about what they're spending. And you could tell Craig, he's listening, he's watching, but I guess his thing was he feels like Jessica spends a lot of money and she spends money on things that she don't need to, which that could be true, but I don't know. But he does make the statement that he doesn't want to tell her that the money is tight or whatever, or that she's the one overspending. And he even says that he's like, I'm not going to say that to her. She may go crazy or whatever. And so I think in a nice way, she did bring up that he's able to work overtime and that, they're going to have a baby coming soon. And so, this budget is going to get even higher because I think they said altogether their bills and everything is like $55,000 a year. Now she did say do one part that I felt like she was kind of being petty about it, um, because he bought a truck. I think it was the last episode or the episode before that, and she was like, "You drive a gas guzzler. The amount of money that you spend on gas." I'm like, "Girl, just knock it off. You already said the gas guzzler. Let's leave it there." But it's like you're just about the gas in that truck. But hey, and then he also mentioned that how he has, while he was in prison, he sent her like $15,000 and she blew through it pretty quickly. Um, so hopefully they'll be able to figure that out, especially before the baby comes, because she has. They found out, I think it was the last episode, that she's actually pregnant. Um, and so hopefully they can figure all that out before this new baby comes. So, any thoughts on Craig and Jessica this week, Reese?
I agree with you with that truck thing. I'm like, that was a jab, man. That dude ain't asked for nothing but that truck, really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think like their bills, well, if you replace like her having to buy him a whole wardrobe and all that stuff with having to do the baby stuff, they may still come out about, similar.
Mm-hmm.
Um, cause like literally, like that's a one-time thing. Like he said, he know how to manage his money and not blow his money. So chances are he's not gonna be out trying to shop. and do anything extra. Now I
Mhm.
do think it's good that he can work overtime, but like don't fully rely on him just working overtime. 'Cause don't overwork the man, and then he
Yeah, or pushing
happy.
the
Yeah,
overtime just to cover these bills if you could
yeah,
cut back on some things.
yeah, because that can backfire on her, and
Mhm.
so hopefully, I mean, like I do like the fact that she put a whole like budget thing together. And then I know, like when they said like she was overspending, they showed little things around the house.
Yeah,
So if the house is fully furnished and fully decorated now, they can focus on like the baby room and the baby stuff. Because in the other episode, it seemed like they already had some baby stuff. Like I guess she already was building a baby room before she even knew she was gonna have kids. I don't know, but there was
uh,
already baby stuff there.
but production was being a little shady when he mentioned she spends money on extra things or whatever, and they panned over to her little coffee bar. I was like, that's messed up. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just a coffee maker and some mugs right there. She spent
I
thousands
feel
of
like they
dollars on
went to
that.
some little crochet thing too.
Oh,
Like now you blowing money on silly stuff, but
mhm.
if that's just a decoration, like I'm sure it didn't cost a whole lot. Like you went to the cheap stuff. I'm thinking she blowing money on makeup, clothes, shoes. She's doing stuff for the house. So I mean, and if it's pretty much decorated, it's not like she's gonna keep doing it. And then too, maybe the depression will be better because she said depression, it felt like a therapy, and it can when you get sad or down. Retail therapy is a real thing. Like it really is. It's not a good thing necessarily all the time, but it is a real thing. So
Right.
maybe now that he's home, they're focusing on a baby and this and that. She may not need as much retail therapy outside of decorating the baby room and stuff as she did when he was locked up and she was by herself and lonely and bored and trying to
Mhm.
maintain a household without him. It's different now. He's there, so even if he's working the whole time because you want him to work all these overtime and you never can see him,
Right. Right.
but you know, maybe her spending habits will calm down. Yes, he got a gas guzzler, but if he's not just cruising around town all day, and then maybe it won't be as bad either.
Yeah.
If they do
And
things,
then
they take her car or something.
yeah, and then it depends on how far away is his job too. I mean,
Yeah,
you want him to go in for this overtime, he's gonna be driving more to go there.
yeah,
No.
yeah. And even if he worked less hours or more hours, like it's not gonna change the distance of the car. I mean, or where he got to drive, because like here where I live at, everything and you too, everything's like 20, 30 minutes away. So it's like sometimes you don't have that option. And then are you gonna give him your car to drive? And then you know what I'm saying, you have the gas guzzler, or what if he needs his car for work, like his truck for work? I don't know what he does, but maybe he. So I would take all of that into account before she like attacks his truck. Because if he don't ask for nothing else but that truck, it's not like he did it without her knowing he was gonna do it. He saved his money up and bought that truck. So, and he said that's the only thing he wanted. Outside of his family, that's what he wanted when you know, he came out of prison. So he got his one thing. Don't bash him for it.
Yeah.
So, but
Mm,
other than that, though, I still like them, even though she's slightly naggy. I still like them.
yeah. 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 All right.
Wait,
Well,
wait, one thing. I'm sorry. When
okay.
he said she gonna go crazy, I just wonder what did she be doing, like for him to say that? I know dudes like to say women are crazy, but
Yeah, but
I could see her having a little crazy side to her.
yeah, and you know that they have been arguing because she was like, for the most part, we get along great. Okay, so what is the other part? Y'all been arguing. It looks
Hmm.
like.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I don't know what their arguments about. We haven't
we
seen
might
that.
see it eventually because the more pregnant she get, the worse it's probably gonna get.
Hmm.
Not the but hormones and all that stuff. So
Hmm. So yeah. So that was this week's episode of Prison Brides. Um, if you made it this far, you might as well go ahead and click the like button. Think about subscribing. Well, don't really think about it. Just go ahead and subscribe. Alrighty, and check us out next week. We'll do the next episode of Prison Brides. And as always, if you have any thoughts, questions, comments, maybe you thought a little bit different or saw things a little bit different, definitely leave a comment. I mean, I don't think that my thought process on the show is the only thought process. Sometimes I don't look at things the same way others may look at it. So, like I said, just leave us a comment If you have one, if you care to share, go ahead and leave that and hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, friends, bye.